In Relay, Tom, played by Riz Ahmed, a world-class fixer specialized in brokering lucrative payoffs between corrupt corporations and the individuals who threaten their ruin. He keeps his identity a secret through meticulous planning and always follows an exacting set of rules. But when a message arrives one day from a potential client, Sarah, played by Lily James, needing Tom's protection just to stay alive, the rules quickly start to change. Relay is directed by David Mackenzie, and he has directed films such as Start Up and Hell or High Water. Relay is very reminiscent of conspiracy thrillers that we got in the 1970s and the 90s, like the Gene Hackman thriller The Conversation, and films like Enemy of the State with Gene Hackman again and Will Smith. And for that alone, I think this film is worth seeing, because we don't really get a lot of films like that anymore. The way this film is structured, we're introduced to Matthew Ma, and he goes into a cafe, and he has some documents in a folder, and he meets a CEO of a company he used to work for. The CEO is played by Canadian actor Victor Garber in kind of like a cameo role, and Matthew ends up giving these documents back to the CEO, and then this whole deal was orchestrated by Riz Ahmed, who's the fixer in this film. And Riz Ahmed is continuous in this film, keeping an eye on Matthew to make sure that the company that Matthew used to work for doesn't go back on their deal to end up killing him, or because Matthew has used to work for that company and has some secret documents and a lot of information that he knows, so that could really be a detriment to that company. So Riz Ahmed has to really look after him throughout the film. And also the film starts again back with another character, Sarah, played by Lily James, and she's at the start of her journey. She has some information. She was sacked by her corporation because she stole some documents, and they kind of like intimidated her, and they offered her like a settlement, but she refused, and she was going to go public with this information, but she just decided she doesn't want to do it anymore. So she gets in contact with the fixer Riz Ahmed, and Riz Ahmed goes through the steps of helping her give back the documents and getting like a settlement money and getting protection and getting like a new identity, so she doesn't get harassed by this corporation. And that's pretty much the film. And we're also introduced to Sam Worthington. He plays a leader of this group, maybe like four people who they are tracking as a Little James, as Sarah character, because they're tracking her every move, and they're the ones who are intimidate her, because they don't want her documents and information to go to the media or to the police. So Sam Worthington is tracking her every move. So once Sarah contacts Riz Ahmed, Riz Ahmed's job is to broker a deal between Sam Worthington and Riz Ahmed. This film is very, very thrilling. Pretty much from the start to the end of the film, you're pretty much on the edge of your seat. There's this scene after scene after scene of thrilling chases and very tense scenes, and Riz Ahmed, he is tasked with giving a very inner performance, because he doesn't have a lot of dialogue in this film. He doesn't actually speak a line of dialogue until the 29-minute mark of the film, where he just gives one sentence. And in this film, he uses a relay system. So I guess, I'm not sure if this is true, but I guess in New York you can call this relay system and type out a message, and an operator on the phone will call somebody else and relay this message to somebody else. So he doesn't have to talk to anybody. He doesn't have to give away his identity or his voice So he constantly uses this relay system throughout the film to talk to many characters in the film. Slowly we get to learn more and more about Riz Ahmed's character as the film goes on. He is a former alcoholic, and he goes to AA meetings, and this like AA meeting construction is used to give more information to his character. So he has to talk during the meetings, he has to talk when he meets other AA members, and we learn that he used to be he wanted to be a whistleblower to a corporation that he used to work for, and then after he lost his job at this corporation, he became a fixer, and he wants to use this fixer job to help other whistleblowers. And it's a credit to Lily James, because her character is pretty much very underdeveloped. We don't really get to know anything about her at all, except that she used to be a scientist at a pharmaceutical company, but her screen presence and her acting is enough to get us to sympathize with her character. So it's a credit to Lily James's performance that even though we don't get to know much about her, that we really do sympathize with her journey. But for me, in the third act of the film just gets increasingly far-fetched and ridiculous, and it just gets very difficult to overlook this, because it just piles on and on and on, and it just gets so silly, because this group, that Sam Worthington is working for, he works for the pharmaceutical company, and he doesn't want these documents to get out, but Sam Worthington's group is able to surveillance and use AI face recognizing technology and tracking, and it's just so like, if he was a police officer, I would understand he's able to do all these things, but he works for this like pharmaceutical company. How is he able to like track Lily James's every move and Riz Ahmed's every move? It's just and it's like a very twist that I didn't see coming. I give credit to the film. There was a nice twist towards the end of the film that I didn't see coming, but that twist also is a little bit ridiculous, even though I didn't see it coming. Like, it kind of, when that twist happens, you kind of like thinking back to what happened previously throughout the film. So yeah, just in the third act of the film, there's just so many inconsistencies and so many far-fetched elements that it kind of took me out of the film, even though I was on the edge of my seat throughout the film. I give Relay 3 stars out of 5. This is a very much edge of your seat conspiracy thriller that we used to get a lot in the 70s and 80s and 90s, but we don't really get those type of films anymore. So just for that reason alone, I would recommend this film. And Riz Ahmed gives a great performance. He's very in performance, and Lily James, her character is very underdeveloped, but we do really sympathize with her throughout the film. So she's very good in the film as well. But it does get very implausible and ridiculous in the third act of the film. So for me, that took me out of the film a little bit, but I still recommend checking out this film. It is quite entertaining and quite thrilling for most of the part, even though it does get a little bit silly towards the end of the film. Thanks for watching. What did you think of Relay? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.